The truth of the matter is that there are two Detroits. There's this Detroit, and then there's this Detroit. What about our neighborhoods? What about our schools? Have we been forgotten?
The Honorable Coleman Alexander Young, my father, said there's no problem in this city that a good paying job can't fix. I want people working and I want investment right here in the neighborhood.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. President, I'd like to start with a quote. The ears of the leader must ring with the voices of the people. Great president once said that. Mr. President, I rise today to make it clear to everyone in this chamber exactly why I cannot support this legislation. You've heard the chants outside this chamber, not just today and last night, but many times over the past 2 years. Thousands of people have shown up, union and non-union, men and women, mothers and fathers, brothers and sisters, even their children. These are the working families of Michigan. These are the thousands of people that I would sit here to represent. When I vote no, I'm voting no on behalf of the thousands of families. Who are you voting yes for? Grover Norquist? I know he sent you all a letter asking you to support this anti-worker legislation. You are voting yes because a handful of corporate lobbyists, a handful of fat cats in the back are telling you to. That's who you work for, the powerful few, the guys with top hats and monocles. You ought to be ashamed of yourself. I work for the people, for the many. I proudly represent them in casting this no vote. I'm doing what's right, what's good for the people. And I tell you this, Mr. President, we will fight you. We will not let this stand. We'll fight you from Kalamazoo to Timbuktu. We'll fight you from the streets and in the suites. We'll fight you in the pit house and we'll fight you in the outhouse. And Mr. President, I'll tell you this right now, when it's all said and done, when it's all over, we will grab the thunderbolt of truth. We will grab the rod of revolution and we will have our victory. And the spoils will go to the working people of Michigan. And you will forever remember the day when you thought you could conquer labor. You were sorely mistaken. Be prepared to engage in the fight of your life. You might win this battle, but the wars are brewing, sir. The wars are brewing, sir. And we're coming, and we're taking no prisoners, and we're taking no quarter. And Mr. President, when all said is done, working men and women of this state will reign supreme. Thank you, and I ask that my comments be printed in the journal.
Hello, welcome to the Young Effect. I am your state senator, Coleman.
I'd also like to thank Senator Coleman for addressing directly at the chair as opposed to the rest of the body. I appreciate your indulgence of the rules. Senator Hood.
33. Also, you can see us all around the world, www.whprtv33.com. That's www.tv33whpr.com. Always a privilege to be here with you live. We want to say thank you so much. And no matter where you call it from, your living room, your den, you can be outside, it's beautiful. You can be queuing it up. You can be in your car. Oh, yeah, by the way, queuing it up on your front yard. Wherever you at, just want to say we love you. We appreciate you. We thank God for you, because no matter where you are, anybody that calls in here, we consider them to be family on the Young Effect. As always, we want to give a special shout out to the men and women of the armed services, the fallen, and those who continue to fight on the front lines, as well as their families. We just want to say we love you. We appreciate you. We also want to give a special shout out as well to our local heroes, police, firefighters, emergency services personnel. We love you. We thank God for you. We appreciate your heroic work that you do every day, keeping us safe and our rights and liberties intact. So we thank you. We appreciate you. Please join me for a moment of silence for all the men and women of the armed services, of the police and firefighters, and emergency services personnel, and everybody that keeps us safe in this country. Please join me for a moment of silence. All right, thank you for that. And with that being said, we got a lot of things that we had going on this week. We gonna take some callers right now. You got any callers? So we gonna take open mic. You talk about what you want to talk about. We're gonna take some callers, and then we gonna get into what happened this week with your boy. Got a caller. Hello.
Hello.
Hey.
Hi, this is Kathy from the East Side.
Hey, Kathy from the East Side. What's happening?
Well, it seems like Mike Duggan had another bad week.
Yeah, he did.
I saw him on TV at his press conference when he had to talk about the $5 million that he had to give back from MSHA, and that he had to also pay 1-point-something million plus the 2.4 million for the investigation.
Mm-hmm.
All that money could have gone back to the city of Detroit for our kids.
Yep.
I think it's just sinful. And for him to also say now that he has $88 million from the state, sure he has that $88 million from the state because he's under a microscope now. That's why he has the money. They wouldn't have given him the money beforehand. Who is he fooling?
Well, listen, the points of these programs are not to prevent people who are corrupt from getting their hands on them. That's not what these programs for. The purpose of these programs is for you to be doing what you're saying you're going to be doing. The FBI comes in or the state comes in to put restrictions on how you use this money, and there are restrictions on how they're supposed to be using this money. That's not the purpose of the program. The program isn't going to stop just because you're under suspicion or you're under investigation. That's not the purpose of this program. They're going to act as if you are acting in the best with integrity and honor, regardless if you are or not, because those programs are there for the public. They're not there for you. He's clearly forgotten that. One.
I just think it's
secondly,
shameful. I think it's very shameful.
Yeah. Secondly, there are restrictions that are being.
How much money he had to pay out, and then he's going to say he has $88 million. Yeah, he's got the money back because they all are embedded in his freaking land bank. Everybody is looking at him under a microscope.
Well,
now.
Look.
It's just shameful.
Regardless of whether or not he's got the money, you know it's bad when David Skillion is asking him about just because they haven't called. Usually, the person they don't call is the person who's under investigation. I mean, you know it's bad. And, you know, and I think that's why what we did with the call for a special prosecutor, and we're going through that process right now, calling for a special prosecutor for the federal government. And that can either be appointed through Congress or through the Attorney General. We would hope that the Attorney General would be able to appoint a special prosecutor, because I think it's unprecedented and highly unethical that you would have, and unusual, that you would have people of the FBI calling members of the media and telling them who is and who isn't a target of an investigation. I think that's highly unusual, and I think that the FBI wore him and other people within the FBI got worn out about that, and I think that he took advantage of his position as a former Wayne County prosecutor in order to be able to use those relationships in order to get information in properly, because that's something that this guy has done his whole entire career, is use power and use his relationships improperly, whether it was being fined $30 million from the federal government in terms of violating the anti-kickback laws when he was running DMC, whether it was when he was with DPS and he had a pay-to-play scheme where he was basically, for people who would give donations to his campaign for prosecutor, he would give them contracts. Whether it was when he was the deputy county executive and he allegedly covered up the murder of Malice Green, and there were people who swore affidavits to that effect. So This has been to DP, even when he was treasurer of the EAA. They're under federal investigation. And now with the city of Detroit, the land bank is under federal investigation, and so is the lighting authority. So, I mean, everywhere this guy has been, there's been a federal investigation that has followed him. And so I just personally believe that this is just a pattern and it's something that's wrong. I think that this is just corruption on parade. And even if you want to make the argument that he isn't corrupt, okay, he's not corrupt, but he crushes on federal criminal investigations an awful lot.
That's right.
Awful
That's
lot.
right.
And let me say this.
Right.
I would be hard pressed to find any black person who can have that many investigations on their record and be able to run and be anything in this town, let alone be mayor.
And not been arrested long time ago.
And go on public television and admit to bid rigging and colluding, admit to criminal behavior. And then those three people who he met with secretly before it was with a pre-bid meeting secretly are the only ones that got the contracts, and he only put the bids out for everybody else 2 days. He only gave them 48 hours. It's a shame before God. It is wrong.
That's right. That's right. And I'm just so grateful that you checked him on Monday. I saw you on TV. It was wonderful because he keeps saying that I'm not part of the investigation. My office is not part of the investigation. No, because you're the big fish. You're the big fish, Mike Duggan. They're looking for you. Thank you for taking my call.
Thank you, Kathy. Appreciate you. Love you, Kathy. Kathy, you're on fire. We go to the caller. Caller, you on the air.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Hey, listen, I see the corporate greed that controls the syndicated media's mouthpiece in place to feed those who are too deceived to believe. They telling more lies about the corrupted thieves. Motor City Mud Wrecker, Mayor Dugan's demolition program returns $6.4 million for improper expenses. Kwame got 28 years. This man's got corporate greed paying the media's mouthpiece to tell you he's still innocent. Okay. Well, free Kwame. See, Mayor Douglas' demolition program returned $6.4 million. That's just what they're telling us.
Yep.
There could be some more millions under the rug.
Mm-hmm.
And then your crazy-ass council people, $34.5 million subsidy going to a billionaire with no promises of helping our school system, helping these people that's being thrown out of their houses due to no water shutoffs. We have no water, we have no lights, we have no lights. Come on, but y'all got $34.5 million in subsidies to give to a billionaire. You got the Detroit Downtown Authority running the ship downtown and went to the council people to collect your tax money that don't even protect you or serve you. Wake up, Detroit. We need Mayor Young. We need you, Mayor Young, a movement for real improvements. Thank you.
That's right. Love you. I like that. A movement for real improvement. Improvement. I thought it was inclusion, improvement. All right. All right. We got another caller. Hello.
Senator.
Yeah.
Hey, Deputy Chief. How you doing?
Hey, Deputy Chief. What's going on, man?
Hey. Look, as I told you before, you can win this thing.
Yeah, man.
Okay? What I need you to do, or what we need you to do, is look up and find out if it's true that Wayne County Community College is losing over $1.5 million on this piston deal. Okay, now Steve Hood, we know how he's rolling.
Mm-hmm.
Yesterday he was hosting 9/10 down at the riverfront, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he publicly said that what they're not telling us is Wayne County Community College, because of this deal, is losing over $1.5 million, And in the last 10 years, because of development downtown and in Midtown, because of tax incentives, tax breaks, and things like that, Wayne County Community College has lost over $10 million. Now, my question is, why didn't the mayor, the council, or anyone from Wayne County Community College say anything about that?
I don't know. That's a good question. I mean, I don't know if that's necessarily true or not.
That's why
yeah,
I like
I don't
for you
put
to
much
check
confidence
into it.
in
But
the
I don't
person you just
think,
mentioned. I ain't gonna mention his
even though we
name.
know how Steve Hood is,
Yeah, we don't need to
Steve
mention his name
would
no
not
more,
have
man.
put it out there publicly like that.
Yeah, man. So I mean, we definitely look to see. I mean, you got to consider the source on that one. But I definitely think that a lot of people. I think that would be unfortunate. You know, I did not support that in Lansing.
Yep.
I think a lot of people would lose out significantly
Yeah.
if Wayne County Community College was hurt. And I think they definitely need to be more involved in the rebirth, be more involved in improvement of jobs and opportunities in the city of Detroit.
Okay, and here's the other
So,
thing,
yeah.
Senator.
That's terrible.
Okay, look, the viewing audience and the listening audience don't have to take my word for it. They don't have to take Mary Sheffield's word for it or Brenda Jones. All they have to do is look up the North American Association of Sports Economists and also the Journal of Sports Economics, and you will see that public funding of arenas and sports stadiums is not in the best interest of the taxpayers. The people that's making the money are the owners, the players, and the politicians.
Yeah.
90% of the information that is there,
I ain't making no money off that.
I would say 97% all say it's not in the best interest of the citizens. The players and the owners, most of them don't even live in the cities where they're playing, okay, where they have the stadium, where they have the arena. And so it's not a good deal for us. And this entire council need to be replaced. People got to remember, Mike Duggan is
the North American what?
Deal.
The North American what?
The North American Association of Sports Economics. Okay?
All right.
It's Robert A. Beatty. He's the professor. And then even Harvard Urban Planning Program, the professor there, Judith Long. All the academia say, hey, this is not in the best interest of the citizens of any municipality. And before the NFL to show you it's not in the best interest, it's a losing situation. The NFL years ago, they used to, they had a clause where they would help the owners. All the teams would kick in money to help, somebody build a stadium. They don't do that anymore. Why? It's because they losing money. So that's got to tell you it's not in our best interest.
Well, look, here's
So
the thing.
Here's
Here's what we could have did. If we would have had someone who stepped in and said that the jobs for this arena that's going to be built is going to be for Detroiters, and if you don't hire Detroiters, I'm coming in and shutting this down. And if we had a community benefits agreement between the community and the developer, and it was binding, meaning they could be legally sued if they don't do what they say they're going to do, this could have been a whole lot better. But the fact of the matter is, we didn't have anybody in office who was willing to do that, you know what I'm saying, except yours truly. And Brenda Jones, which I thought, completely, I thought was kind of sad how they just completely treated her in terms of proposal A and B. I thought a lot of that was just sad. I mean, they using my father's name. I thought it was disgusting. I thought it was political necrophilia. But listen, if we don't have
You can have a stadium, you cannot have a stadium. To me, it's not so much the project or the stadium or the billionaires or the tax subsidies. It is how this is being crafted. And depending on the leadership that you have in office is depending on how this is crafted. You could have used this as an economic development opportunity to be able to put people to work, to be able to train people, to be able to have jobs, to be able to provide opportunities, educational facilities, and recreational facilities for our youth. This could have been something that the entire neighborhood in the city of Detroit and the citizens who live in Detroit could have benefited from. The problem with this, as it is with everything else, is greed.
That school,
Period.
Durfee, and refurbished Durfee School.
Man,
You know,
they could do a lot of stuff, man.
As a practice facility, and also use it as a recreation for the community.
You could have took the impact fees from the development and used it for do that for Durfee, or build a new recreational center. There's a lot of stuff that we could be doing. This just comes down to leadership. That's why we running for mayor, and that's why we gonna win August the 8th and again in November. Because I'm telling you, man, people are tired of this. And if you tired of this, you need to take your souls to the polls and you need to go vote, man. August the 8th, need to vote.
I agree. And here's the other question. All those folks that embraced Mike Duggan from your father's administration, why haven't we heard anything from them?
Because they shame.
The 100 and some preachers, why haven't we heard anything from them? See, Mike Duggan is an embarrassment, as I said before. He's an embarrassment to the city. He's an embarrassment to the people. And he's got to go. He should go ahead on and resign, but we're going to take care of him in this election.
Yeah,
we got to get him out of here.
Well, I think the feds might take care of him for that. All right, brother, appreciate you.
All right, but look that up, okay?
I will. I'm going to look it up as soon as I get back home.
All right.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate you. We got the caller. Caller, you on the air. Welcome to the Young Effect.
Good evening, Coleman.
Hey.
Mayor for the city of Detroit. How are you this evening?
How you doing, Miss Activity?
Listen, I listened to Mildred Geddes' show Friday. Steve Nieblen and Charlie LaDuff was on there, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it was another guy that had called in that was real familiar with the contract of building the stadium with the school money. And he said that is not a good idea. And it was something he said to look at. I forgot what it was. But I'm sure it's on Steve Nieblen's Facebook page. But he was saying that that was not a good idea for the Detroit residents to be taking money from the schools and putting it on a stadium, not with no billionaires.
I think you're talking about Steve Nieblen, if I'm not mistaken.
It was real interesting. I listened to it from 10 to 1, really. And they was really knocking the ball out the park, you know.
Yeah.
And it was coming out with everything that, you know, Michael was under investigation with.
Yeah, listen, I thought that was a really good conversation to start talking about my family. And let me just take this time really quickly to say this, too. You want to talk about me. You want to talk about my campaign. You want to talk about me being a good candidate, me being a good candidate. That's fine. Don't talk about my family. Exactly. Don't talk about my mother. Don't do it. Just don't. It's disgusting.
Well, you know,
it's despicable. It's deplorable. It's beneath. It has no place in the intellectual marketplace of ideas. None. It's slime ball, sewer rat, scum bucket, Bush League politics. And I won't have it. I won't have it. So stop it.
Stand up. Stand up, Coleman.
Got a man talks about another man's mother. Not no man with testicular fortitude. Well, maybe man, I don't want to swear on TV. Go ahead, Go ahead, Miss Activity.
And you know, like when I also called into another show this morning, 9 or 10, and I was talking about how Duggan has done all these investigations, but they don't want to bring all that out. You know, I said just like when he first ran, when Crystal was running, I voted for Crystal because she was the better candidate. I said, and Mike Duggan always talking about, you know, taking money and talking about the seniors have money. So he was turning the grant into loans for the homes. And
Yeah.
I thought that was really, how do you figure seniors got money when they got bills and bills and bills and hospital bills and medical bills and, all that stuff they got to pay? No, Duggan, you was wrong for taking it from a grant which was free to the seniors that need repair on their home, and you turned around and you made it into a loan. That was totally
You can't pay those
wrong.
loans back, even if they low interest. You can't. It's gonna be hard for you to pay those loans back, especially if it was a grant before.
And everybody don't have the credit, and then he told me, well, we'll help
No,
you build
only
your credit score.
19% of the
It's
city
not
got good credit, according to the Urban Institute. So
Yeah.
I don't know who he thinks. That's why there's like an 80-something% rejection rate when it comes to people trying to be able to get home loans to fix up their houses. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know how you gonna turn it into a loan. Who gonna pay that back? We just came back from the worst financial crisis in this country's history. 66% of the city have subprime mortgages. I think the average, like the median income was like 585. 585 is subprime in terms of your credit score. 535, you talk about average. So it's subprime. It's subprime. The median income is $26,000.
less than that.
You know what I'm saying? Who gonna afford that, man? They not. They're not gonna be afford. That's why we need more community development corporations and community development financial institutions, so we could draw down money from the federal and state governments to be able to have people for Detroit who are African American, who are poor, be able to have access to that. That's why we also need to have African Town too, so we can pool our resources in a business and put our people back to work, so they can have jobs and money.
And she said that HUD didn't want it to have no African Town, but you can have Polish, you can have Greek, and you have all the rest of it, but you can't have African Town.
We can have African Town. You got Mexican Town. You got all them other towns. And Greek Town took money from the pension fund. I didn't know that. My Watson told me that about Greektown. They took money from the pension fund. I don't know why we can't have African Town or Melanated Town or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Or Black Power Town or
Coleman, I asked Steve Weedman, I asked him, was it legal for Mike Duggan to take the grants and turn them into loans? So he said he was going to look into that.
Yeah, man. It's going to be a lot of stuff they're going to be looking at too in terms of what's legal and what's not. We already know bid riggedy colluding is illegal, and he admitted to that. So they're going to be, the feds going to be looking at that too. Listen, Ms. Activity, love you. Appreciate you.
All right, love you too.
Thank you for your time. Appreciate you. Got another caller?
Yeah, I forgot to mention, when you talk about federal investigations, you've already mentioned the Lighting Authority. Did you mention the DMC scandal when they had some dollars misappropriated as well? But the looting of Detroit continues. You're talking about them throwing back $6.4 million of improper expenses. Well, that's just what they told us. What about the amount that hasn't been revealed yet? And then when you talk about the $34.5 million that they voted to give a billionaire, people, y'all got to understand, these people don't even vote. They taking people that we vote for, and they giving these people our tax dollars. And we can't have our water affordability plan, and we can't have no to protect us against foreclosures and tax theft, because with the bottom line, your taxes are being stolen and being given to billionaires and corporate greed that comes in here and uses your assets for their profits. Thank you for taking my call.
Thank you. That's what I'm talking about. Need them community benefits agreements. That's going on everywhere in Detroit. You got going on downtown. They talking about building that bridge, and they talking about hiring Detroiters for the bridge. They talking about hiring Detroiters to refurbish the houses. Not the 10,000 jobs that going to come from the bridge, but refurbishing how that is not what the deal. I'm not hating on that. I think that's a good thing. You going to have people refurbish houses. I'm just saying that was not part of the original agreement. Go ahead.
Good afternoon, Coleman.
Hey.
How you doing?
Hey, Pat.
Yes.
Hey. Always good to hear Pat. What's going on?
Well, first of all, it is quite obvious that Mike Duggan is in on the master plan to gentrify the city of Detroit. Every move he's made has taken away from the indigenous citizens of Detroit. Now, as far as that loan, grant turned into a loan, I asked him, why in the world would you turn grant funds into a loan for people that are low income and seniors who are on a fixed income? And his answer was, which this is the reason I don't like the guy, because he tries to low IQ Detroit. He said, oh, we had to do that because the same people were getting the grants. Give me a break. You mean to tell me you didn't have the mechanisms to figure out if people were getting the same people? First of all, the grants were for the home, the addresses. So all you had to do was see if this address had a loan within a grant within whatever criteria, 5 years, whatever, and it kicked it out. But that's the reason he said he turned it into a doggone loan, because the same people over and over again were getting the grants. Give me a break. Second of all, that guy, I went to this presentation or announcement, whatever you want to call it, where they want to bring drag racing into the city of Detroit, which I find nothing wrong with it, because that probably will, mitigate all this drag racing on these residential streets.
Yeah.
Nothing's wrong with that.
Right.
But they want to have it located at the city airport. The city airport, where the children were getting taught how to do aerospace and mechanics on the, on the planes, and pilots learn how to be pilots.
We got plenty of open spaces where they can drag race at.
It looks like Beirut. Why don't you have a racetrack over there?
Build a racetrack over there, and then you can teach the kids, and they can learn about drag racing, and you can make an event out of it and get some revenue out of it, instead of trying to attack something that already exists that we should be trying to build on.
And so they're sitting up there looking stupid, talking about, well, they're going to learn how racetracking. You can learn how to work on cars and everything. I'm like, okay, that's fine.
That's great.
So these kids can learn how to be pilots and mechanics on aircraft. That's a lot of money.
Why don't you turn that?
I told him, I said, you're not answering my question. My question is, why can't you have this located on the east side in these barren areas that have land for days?
Build you a road on there.
He's taking our children's education, their skills and everything, just so these corporates can come in here and have a la-la land.
You can have a private activity bonds program set up where you borrow the money, you can build on the track, build the facility, and then that company pays you back.
And they know it too.
From what they got, and you ain't got to raise taxes.
They continuously want to take from our children. It's disgraceful. The city council is a disgrace. I can't get rid of all of them, because that good cop, bad cop mess ain't working. A couple of people vote yes all the time, but what is that about? I think the president of the city council should have the skill to persuade her colleagues how to vote for the people. What good is one person keep voting yes for the people? We keep losing because the majority don't.
That don't make
this is just a big game. It's phony. I say get rid of every single council person, start all over again, and we definitely need to get rid of Mike Duggan, because he is a crook. I don't know where his connections go, but they go way high. Thank you.
Thank you. Love you, Pat. Pat wearing him out. Crook. We need a servant, not a crook. Hello.
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 I'm enjoying your program.
Oh, thank you.
What I'd like to say is these are the reasons that I'm not voting for anyone on city council that is on the city council now, or the current mayor.
Okay.
Number one, the Step Forward funds were sent here, with my understanding, to help people that were losing their properties and to help citizens in the city of Detroit. It was not to demolish property. Now, if they wanted to demolish property, which needed to be done, they should have written another grant, not go into the Step Forward funds. The second thing
you talking about hardest hit, right?
The hardest hit funds.
You talking about hardest hit,
Those
correct?
funds were for homeowners that were in a distressed situation.
And let me say this too. I'm gonna let you finish, but I just want to say this too. And remember, I think it's about 85%, if I'm not mistaken, or at least 80% or over 80% in the city of Detroit that applied that were under $30,000 that applied for those, that made $30,000 that or less than $30,000 that applied for those funds were rejected. 80% of the people who applied, who made $30,000 to apply for those funds, they had an 80% rejection rate in terms of getting those hard to hit funds.
That is
That's a
another
shame. That's a shame.
area that should be investigated.
Yeah.
The Step Forward Fund.
Well, SIGTARP is doing that. I just want to make you sure. Go ahead.
Okay.
Finish.
My second thing is what we have right now is like reverse Robin Hood. The poor people pay for the rich people's stadiums or whatever the rich people want. The poor people are taxed, and they must take care of that. So I think we're like in a reverse Robin Hood situation. I was at Palmer Park, a couple of days ago. A couple of friends and I went out for lunch, and we stopped at Palmer Park. There are no trash cans at Palmer Park. There are no trash cans on the street. I listened to an interview yesterday with the gentleman in Livernois and the Avenue of Fashion. They've been begging for trash cans. And you can't get trash cans. And then you talk about the city is so dirty. If people are walking down the street and they do eat on commercial areas, and there are no trash cans, something as simple as trash cans would eliminate a lot of the litter in the city of Detroit. Also, these bike trails, bike paths or whatever it is, there on Livernois, that is crazy what they have there. That island in the middle of the place, they should have had, in my opinion, diagonal parking would have made more sense than bike trails, and now they're going to make it one lane, and it's crazy. Who thought of this, and how do the people have something to say about this? Now, Bucharest, the gentleman that was on one of the shows yesterday, said that Bucharest, if he had known, the guy that just got the Bucharest restaurant there, if he had known that they might turn that into just one lane, he'd have never located on Livernois. All of these crazy things that are happening, and the people have no say in it. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. That's why we're running. You got a choice. You want to say so, you need to vote for Coleman Young for mayor. Let's go. You got the caller. Hello. Hello. Hello? Caller.
How you doing?
Hey.
You know, I hope you win.
Yeah.
I'm with you 100%. But if you don't win,
turn your TV down.
All these so-called Mike Duggan supporters, even the ones on your station, if he win the next election, you think that we went back to 1930. He ain't going to have nothing to do with them supporters that supporting him. All he wants is another term so they can finish carrying out what they can out that the people's complaining about. But all these so-called Duggan supporters, if he wins, he's not going on that station no more. And all these Negroes that done got paid, he going to turn their back on them. Watch and see. Thank you.
Thank you for your call, but we winning, baby. We winning. So you ain't got to worry about that. Young Movement's winning. Another caller?
Yeah, Coleman Young the second.
Hey.
A movement for real improvement. Wake up, Detroit.
Wake up, Detroit. That's Mama Watson line. I got to be careful. She trademarked that. Hello? You got a caller? Oh, yeah, new website, theyoungmovement.com. You want to go to theyoungmovement.com. Theyoungmovement.com, one word. www.theyoungmovement.com. That's capital T, H-E, capital Y-O-U-N-G, capital M-O-V-E-M-E-N-T.com. Come join the Young Movement. Another call. Hello?
Coleman.
Yeah.
This Renee.
Hey, Renee, how you doing?
Hi. Can I have your permission to answer your campaign's office phone as mayor's office?
Yeah.
Yeah, because, I mean, oh, wow, this weekend was really great for you. I went to Marlon Winans Church. They had that big flea market and the food giveaway. And I was just standing in line near the food giveaway, and most of the people, some of them took your card, and mainly the older people say, I don't need that. I know I want to vote for them. So they already got you in mind. It's just like it's already set.
That's all right.
And I mean, so that's like maybe the second place I went for you, and people said they already for you. So basically, this last thing with the Duggan and this council did, taking that school money to give to the Pistons, and I have to be careful because you know where I work, so I have to be real careful with what I say. But that's crazy. That's just, I think that was the camel straw that broke. That's the straw that broke the camel back right there. Mr. Mayor, congratulations. I think you won this just over there. Pick your council, sir. Pick your council, Coleman. Pick it.
I just want to say I love you, Renee. I couldn't have did this without you. I thank God for you. I'm so glad you're on my side. You do such great work for me. I'm so glad to have you.
Good. And I'm going to keep working until the numbers end that night in November, Tuesday night that Tuesday in November. We got to still keep going because there's a lot of tricks, and they're going to try a lot of stuff between now and then. But, I mean, those two issues, what Ms. Pat just said about turning the grant to the loan, and this here about taking those children's school money and giving it to some basketball teams. Oh, no. If you just harp on that and keep on that, and they'll get you through because these people, they mad. It's like Doug took a stick and hit the hornet's nest. He gone.
That's right. We running. That's why we winning.
Yes, sir.
We winning.
The winner, Mr. Coleman Young, the second
right.
mayor of Detroit.
We winning.
I'm going to say that loud, and I'm saying it proud.
That's right.
Okay, I'll see you later. I'm going to let somebody else speak.
Okay, love you. Thank you, Kat. Thank you, love you. Appreciate you, Renee. Thank you.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye now. That's my best friend from Pontiac. Hello? I just want to take a moment to thank all my volunteers, too. I could not have did this without you. I love you. I appreciate you. I thank God for you. We got another caller. Caller, you on the air. Welcome to the Young Effects.
How you doing?
Winning. How you doing?
Hey, we winning.
Yeah.
This is Yaka 9 from Detroit. I'm looking at you on 33. And, hey, man, I just want to say this goes deeper than gentrification. This is the Motor City, man. Now listen, I don't have anything against, the bikes, and that things of that nature. But to put these sticks in the middle of the street during rush hour when we have traffic, people getting off of work, and, for the bike lane, this is ridiculous. If you're not going to widen the street, don't take away a lane, for the bikes. They've been riding bikes here for 100 years with the cars. There's no problems.
We can have complete streets.
When you become mayor, man, pull every one of these sticks up out the street, man, so we can get back and forth to work, man.
Yeah, man.
This is ridiculous, man.
And we need more curb cuts and Livernois, too.
Yeah. Hey, one love.
Hey, love you, brother. One love. One love. Appreciate you. My man Shinsostra L. One love. One love. Yeah, knock him out, champ. You know the caller? Caller, you on the air.
Hello, how are you?
Winning, how you doing?
I'm fine. This is Marie Thornton.
Hey!
147.
Yes, how you doing?
I represent a community. I want you to tell me you love me. True, just like you told Renee.
I love you. You know I love you. I got nothing but love for you. I totally love you, Miss Thornton. Thank God for you.
Now I feel better.
Good. And I saw you earlier today. thank you for coming to my event. That was fun. We was over there, over there in the penthouse in the Millender Center over there. So just want to say we love you. We appreciate you.
But I felt sorry for some of those people. You know their rent is $2,000 or more.
Shame. We look. Not only we need rent control, we need to make sure that we have renew these low income housing tax credits. That's something that's very important. But we definitely need rent control in here, and we need to be building more affordable housing. You know, whether it be through the home program or Hope 6 funds, in order to make sure that we provide affordable housing for people who are living in the city of Detroit. I think it's a shame before God that we price people out. And I need to say this, we need to start building this at 20 and 30% AMI, not 60 and 80% average median income. Because what you're doing is you're saying you're building affordable housing, because Mike Duggan says that he wants, my opponent, saying that he wants to build houses for affordable people for a family of 4. But if you're talking about building at 60 or 80%, you're talking about building houses for people who make $40,000 to $70,000. And the average median income in the city of Detroit is $26,000. So you building houses that are affordable that nobody in the city of Detroit can afford. That's when we need change. We need to vote for the Young Movement. Got another caller? The Young Movement, theyoungmovement.com.
I just want to say quickly, 34.5 is subsidies, and the people got no benefits, no community benefits, nothing for them, nothing to guarantee their safety and their mobility. Thank you for taking my call.
Nothing. I'm so glad you said that. Nothing on anything. Not the bridge, not the stadium. And you know, there's other states that do this. We're not reinventing the wheel. You go over there to Los Angeles, they had a community benefits agreement that was binding with the Staples Center and LAX. That's an airport. Ain't nothing get more restrictive than building the airport, especially the post 9/11 world. And they can do that for their citizens, and we can't build we can't build a hockey arena / basketball stadium. You know, and a bridge for our community, and make sure that our community get jobs, and 48% of the city living in poverty. This is shameful, y'all. It is shameful. You got 115,000 people who live in the city of Detroit who go outside the city of Detroit for work. You got 170,000 people who live outside the city who come into the city for work. And you got 63.5, so 63,500 people who live and work in the city of Detroit. It's a shame before God, man. We should be, I don't care what it is, black folks should be at the helm, even if it's medical marijuana. 83% of the city is black and only 1% controls the business. How you gonna be locked out of a city you the majority in? We locked out of every single business. That's why we need African Town, y'all. We need something of, there's not anything in this city that black folks should not control. I'm probably going to get in trouble for saying this. But my father, when he became mayor, he made a whole lot of black millionaires. We need to start getting back to that. I'm not guaranteeing I'm going to make millionaires. We need to start getting back to black people who are successful, who own stuff, who run stuff, who control stuff, who can point at something and say, that's black owned. When the last time you saw a major business and you pointed at it and said it's black owned? And even if we are a place of hair and wig and nail shops, let's be the best hair, wig, and nail shops in the world, barbershops in the world. And let's reach out to other people who manufacture the products and have them build a major campus or a sister campus in the neighborhood and put black people to work. Learn the hair care industry. That ain't hard to do. Hell, I personally, and it's just me, I don't know how in the world we dominate in terms of stores, in terms of hair, and black people don't own the hair product. I don't know. I'm not hating on my, Asian brothers and sisters, but you know what I'm saying? We should have ownership over that. That's what we got to start getting back to. Is black folks owning stuff again. And I ain't hating on middle management, but that should be what we should just accept. The problem is we accept the least that they had to offer. They do the bare minimum for black folks. And we treat it like it's gold. It's not. And when my father was around, it wasn't. We should have a seat at the table, man. We shouldn't be eating the crumbs off the floor. That's what we do. We should have a seat at the table, on the table. We should be on the council. We should be making the decisions. We should be the head of the table. It's 2016. All right, we got another caller. 2017, excuse me. Caller, you on the air. Welcome to the Young Effect.
Hey, Senator, this is Deputy Chief.
Hey, Deputy Chief.
For your viewing and listening audience, do not fall for the hype that the council made a mistake. They did not make a mistake in this Piston deal. That this was by design, okay? They did it on purpose. They did not think they were going to be pushed back from the voters and from the citizens. Again, Google public financing of sports stadiums, and you will see who benefit from the financing.
Public financing for stadiums.
Yeah, you'll see that it's not in our interest. So Mary Sheffield, Brenda Jones, Cushenberry, all of them, they got to go. They have to go. We can get rid of this entire council and still be in good shape.
Brenda Jones said that, I thought Brenda Jones voted against it.
Yeah, but Brenda Jones, look, man, like I said, they put a man on the moon in 3 days and 23 hours. It do not take 4 years to write a proposal for a community benefit agreement. So again, I do not have confidence in her sincerity of her siding with the people. Her interest is not with the people. Her interest is with corporate and Brenda Jones. And that's it.
All right. Thank you for your call. We appreciate you. Got another caller? Caller, you on the air. Hello.
Yeah, Junior.
Hey, what's going on?
Did you ever go right past where I told you to go last week?
Where did you tell me to go last week? I done forgot.
2211 Cadillac Boulevard, where all those trees was at.
We ain't been over there yet. We probably gonna be over there this week.
You won't have to go through there because I called the city, and they came out and picked them up Tuesday.
Oh, they can't pick them up Tuesday. Good.
Yeah, because like I told you, I'm a handler. I take care of business. I don't complain. I just go and take care of it.
All right.
You know, you have leaders and followers. A lot of people is followers. That's why they ask you to do everything. They don't know how to go out there and lead for themselves.
Yeah, well, listen,
and that's how we get strong as a people.
You told them you called the Young movement. Now they want to do stuff.
Yep. That's how it is.
That's how it is. Well, listen, we love you, brother. We appreciate your call.
Bye.
Thank you. Always a pleasure. I'm so glad. If we can help with anything else, let us know. Got another caller? Hello?
Would that be me?
Yes, it's you.
Okay. Our future mayor of the city of Detroit.
Hey.
I'm looking forward to some creative leadership because right now we have very uncreative, and I would suggest racist and anti-people leadership, not only at the city council and in the mayor's office, but throughout our government, including the county. I understand that there's something called surplus fees and interest from delinquent taxes, and that there are approximately $48 million has been returned to Wayne County. Well, Sabree and his former boss suggested that there was very little that they could do with that money. However, there is some creative persons in the state. For example, there's someone in Genesee County who used a portion of those fees that they collected from the surplus fees and interest and spent a portion of that on blight removal.
Yeah.
A lot of that.
Did you read that from Bridge Magazine? Did you read that from Bridge Magazine?
It's from Bridge Magazine.
Yeah, I
and
read
also
that
showed
too.
up in Cranes. It's an excellent article.
Yep.
And it shows what a creative leader can do and the difference that you can make for people in terms of stabilizing neighborhoods and helping those neighborhoods that have experienced a great deal of foreclosure. So a lot of the money could have been saved if we'd had more creative leadership. So instead of using our hardest hit funds for demolition, perhaps a certain proportion of those foreclosed homes, the taxes and interest from that, could have been used for the demolition in the city of Detroit. And then they would not have to raid our school funds and take the money from the poor working people.
I agree.
So
I agree.
I am in favor of new progressive leadership, beginning with you, future Mayor Coleman Young. Thank you for taking my call.
Thank you. Love it and appreciate it. And let me say this, too. If I was being, I would have also asked for more money, quite frankly, instead of putting it in the hardest hit funds. I would have asked for more money to be put in the Community Development Block Grant, because you have more freedom in how you can use that money anyway, whether it be neighborhood stabilization funds, but also, or NSP2, but also you could use that for blight removal as well and demolition as well. So that's what I would have used. That way you have more flexibility in order how you want to use it. You can use that money to build houses. You can use that money to tear down abandoned buildings. So I think that's something that we should be doing as well as work with HUD with their asset control areas program. We on the caller? Call you on the air. What's in Younger Peck?
Hello.
Hey.
Hi, this is Kim. I was just calling to let you know that we are from Coleman Young.
I can't hear you. Speak up.
I want to say that Belgium is a poor manager as far as the city departments go. Each department is eligible for federal funds. Why not they aren't digging for that?
Kim, that's a very good question.
I'm not understanding. And then for him to say the hardest hit funds, the same people were getting the grants, we'll have a department that's all that they do is vet the people, vet the houses, go out and look, and give the people the grants who qualify. What's wrong with that? Just they'll be just doing their job.
Yeah, listen, Kim, I totally agree with you. We need somebody to get out there and do their job. That's why this guy's got to go. You got to vote Coleman Alexander Young II for mayor. That's why we running. We're going to do this thing. So I totally agree with you 110%.
Okay, well, we're winning.
Winning. Thank you for your call, Kim. Love you.
Later.
Appreciate you. Bye now. That being said, that's all my time. Listen. Oh, I'm sorry, this being heard. I Love Detroit just told me the campaign meeting has been rescheduled to Thursday at 6. Usually we have a campaign meeting every Monday, but that's going to be the fireworks day. So we're going to reschedule that campaign to Thursday at 6 p.m. This coming Thursday, 6 p.m. All right. Love you. Appreciate you. Thank you. God bless you. Remember, nobody cares how much you know till they know how much you care. I'll see you next time right here. I'm Coleman Alexander Young II, your state senator and soon to be next mayor of the great city of Detroit. God bless you. Peace.